Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where you're going to learn how to read the state of mind and the opinions of people just through their behaviours, gestures, and their body language. We're going to keep it nice and simple, no fluff, get straight to the point so you can understand how to recognise these behaviours and what they mean in real life, as well as the behaviours you act on yourself outside of your own conscious awareness, as we all do it to varying different degrees and means. Alright, so without further ado, if you like what you hear, leave a comment, click like, click subscribe, whatever you want to do, and we're going to get into the lesson. So today might be quite a short one because it's pretty straight ahead. We're going to be talking about lint picking, alright, or in particular invisible lint picking. So the individual is trying to find something to pick, trying to find a means of grooming or preening themselves, but not necessarily in a way where they're trying to signal, it's not an attraction signal, it's not a self-care signal, it's more so a distraction as to what's going on ahead of them, alright? So what happens is the individual drops the head and starts plucking invisible lint from their clothing whilst in a conversation or a communication of sorts. It's a signal of contempt and disapproval, okay? So what do they have to do when they do this? They have to break eye contact with you and they have to focus on something else, which sort of takes you out of the equation momentarily. It stammers the flow of conversation and it sort of exposes a withheld objection. Alright? It's a sign of timidity to some degree because the individual isn't speaking up about their opinion. It's more so a passive-aggressive attack. Alright, so sometimes I see this, or I've seen this personally. Take it as you will. It goes to show my skills in the job interview back when I was younger. I've seen this in job interviews before, where you've been getting a point across and maybe overspoke, and you see this behaviour across the table. It's not something you want to be seeing, and you don't necessarily see it between friends and stuff. I think it's more so to do with those whom you're trying to impress, and you might have, shot yourself in the foot a little bit whilst over speaking or saying something as to which is a bit unsavoury for the individual across the table. But it might seem like a bit of an outlandish behaviour, but you do see this. It does happen from time to time, alright? It is a rude gesture, and it's a statement that the individual lacks respect of you, okay? As on parallel with this behaviour, an individual could potentially pick at their nails. They could drum their fingers in boredom. Or they could, fidget around with their clothes, smoothing it out when it doesn't require it. So one of the things to really emphasise on is this person doing this behaviour with purpose, or is this just some way of escape? Is this some way of taking the mind out of the situation and focusing on some nonsense momentarily, rather so than accentuating that attention on me, which is what should be the case in proper, effective, efficient communication. So the goal of the gesture is to show indifference in somewhat an indiscreet, passive, aggressive way. It's quite cowardly, but it is body language. It's not. The person might not really identify that they're doing it to the degree they are doing, but it speaks, and that's about it really. So hopefully that was of benefit. If you do see this behaviour, please take into context, are they genuinely trying to look good for you, which would be, the other side of the same coin. But if you're trying to get something across and overall regarding, how receptive they are in the cluster they're giving you, if they seem, a little bit indifferent towards you, this sign, it's bordering on, disrespect, because they've got better things to do, and that better thing to do is to just fidget with themselves, alright? Anyway, thank you very much, as always. Comment, like, subscribe, keep in touch, more to come, thank you.